说中文。
Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese. Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese.
Hello there, newbies. This is Chinese Pod coming to you from Shanghai, China, and I'm Ken Carroll.
I'm Jenny. We bring you a lesson about choice.
About choice.
About picking which food.
Food. Okay,
you want to
choosing
eat.
food in a restaurant. We're in a restaurant here,
Yes.
right? Okay, we're in a restaurant. Asking like your pal or your dining buddy, companion what they would like to eat. This is a slightly more challenging newbie. Okay, it's not an easy newbie. But you know, even if you haven't studied before, you will understand this.
Yes.
Because we'll help you to.
And also the elements reinforce each other.
I think they do. So there's a
key
lot of useful vocab here. Okay, why don't we listen to this 3 times and then we'll come back and we'll...
Yeah. Analyze it. Also, culturally, it's quite interesting, this dialogue.
I think it is.
Dialogue, first time.
你想吃什么？
我想吃肉，
我不喜欢肉，我喜欢吃鱼。
好吧，
Second time.
你想吃什么？
我想吃肉，
我不喜欢肉，我喜欢吃鱼。
好吧，
Third time.
你想吃什么？
我想吃肉，
我不喜欢肉，我喜欢吃鱼。
好吧，
Okay, Ken, let's do the translations.
Yeah.
你想吃什么？
What would you like to eat?
你想吃什么？
What do you want to eat?
你想吃什么？我想吃肉。
I'd like to have some meat.
我想吃肉。
I'd like to eat some meat.
我想吃肉。我不喜欢肉，我喜欢吃鱼。
I don't really like to eat meat. I like to eat fish.
我不喜欢肉，我喜欢吃鱼。
I don't like meat. I like to eat fish.
我不喜欢肉，我喜欢吃鱼。好吧，
Okay.
好吧，
All right.
好吧。What an agreeable friend.
Yes. In my experience in China, most Chinese women don't particularly like meat.
Yeah,
They don't
that's
eat
true.
much meat.
I don't like meat.
Yeah, fish. It's all fish and seafood. Yeah. And certainly big chunks of meat. Well, nobody really eats big chunks of meat in
Yeah,
China
we eat
anyway.
like spare ribs and like meat slices.
Yeah, mostly sliced and diced and that kind of
对
strips and stuff like that.
No concept of a steak in China.
No. Or those big sort of, on the bone kind of chunks of meat that you
That's
sometimes have
true.
in the West. Okay, so it's a different attitude. So let's take a look at it in a little bit more detail. Now, the verb to eat is,
吃
and that's the first tone.
correct.
Now, if you want to say to somebody, eat what?
吃什么？吃什么？
吃什么?
Yes.
Now, in Chinese, that would actually function as a sentence.
question,
Yeah.
yeah.
You could just say,
吃什么？吃什么？
and they could infer that you meant what
do
you
you
want
like
to
to
eat.
eat?
Okay. But to flesh out the sentence, if you can forgive the pun, we said here,
你想吃什么？你想吃什么
good, not ni, as in you. And the verb
？To want.
to want here is,
想
now what tone is xiang?
That's a third tone.
Good. So could you put those two together in?
你想
Now, how would you translate this? 你想? Like, what do you...
It's like what would you like?
Yeah.
对吧？
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Would you fancy?
There
sort
you
of.
go. Okay. Yeah, it's a nice way to say, what are you thinking you'd like to eat?
Exactly.
Something along those lines.
Yes.
Okay, so one more time. Let's have the full sentence.
你想吃什么？你想吃什么？
So, what would you like to eat, or what are you thinking about eating, that type of thing? Okay, now, this person is using the same 想.
Yep.
So, let's hear what the reply is.
我想吃肉。我想吃肉。
我想, again, I think,
Yes,
I
or
would like,
I'd like.
to eat meat.
吃肉。吃肉。
Now, we have the same verb here, which is to eat, right? And that's
Yes. 吃。吃。
first tone. And now we have a heavy sounding fourth tone word, and that is
肉。
ro.
肉。
Ro.
That's a very meaty word.
It is, because it literally means meat.
Yeah, and
you
it just sounds like you said very forceful.
It is heavy and stuff.
Yeah.
So let's hear that. To eat meat.
吃肉。吃肉。
吃肉.
对。
Now, I just asked you a moment ago if you like to 吃肉, and you said,
我不想吃肉。I don't want to eat meat.
so you don't particularly like to eat meat, yeah. Okay, well, I do like to 吃肉.
Oh.
But that's another story. Okay, now let's get back to the dialogue here. So to follow on from that then, what happened?
我不喜欢肉，我喜欢吃鱼。我不喜欢肉，我喜欢吃鱼。
Good. Now, the verb to like is,
喜欢，喜欢
and we had the word for meat, which was,
肉，肉
so if you put those two together, you get
喜欢肉，
to like meat.
喜欢肉
To like meat. There you
Somehow
go.
sounds very funny to me. 喜欢肉
Well, like meat also sounds funny in English as well. And but the negative form of 喜欢 is,
不喜欢
right, don't
不喜
like,
欢
dislike, as it were. Now, so let's put that all together. Well, I don't like meat.
我不喜欢肉，我不喜欢肉。
In actual fact, this isn't the most likely sentence in this format you're likely to hear. We're trying to just get something fairly simple, but relatively,
Yes.
realistic here. So you could substitute 肉 with any other noun and say, I like
我喜欢，
or I don't like.
我不喜欢。
There you go. And in fact, that's precisely what happens in the next part
Yeah.
of the sentence.
我喜欢吃鱼，我喜欢吃鱼。
I like to eat fish.
Yes.
So, 我喜欢 as in I like, 吃 the same verb to eat, and then the word for fish is
鱼，鱼。
鱼.
Second tone.
鱼. This is, I think, a slightly elusive word from a pronunciation perspective
Yeah.
for someone new to the Chinese language.
Yes.
Fish. Let's hear it again.
鱼，鱼。
鱼.
Because it's such a subtle pronunciation,
is.
such a subtle sound.
Yeah. It's the second tone as well, which is, I've always found the second
Yeah.
one the most difficult. Let's hear it again.
鱼，
鱼,
鱼。
鱼.
It's almost like you're just making a sound. You're
It
not
does.
speaking anything. 鱼，
鱼. Well, let's put it together then. To eat fish.
吃鱼，吃鱼。
吃鱼.
对，
Okay. Interesting little sound that it still intrigues me, the old 鱼.
鱼。
And so to wrap it up, in agreement, we had the expression
好吧，好吧。
好吧. Now, 好 meaning good.
Yes.
And ba is just a particle that softens the tone. Means, yeah, I'm in agreement. That's okay. That's
Yes.
fine. 好吧.
好吧。
好吧. Now, great phrase, by the way.
Yep.
Why this? You walk around and somebody says something that you didn't even understand. You just say,
好吧。
好吧. They go, whoa. It sounds like as if you could pretend you understood everything that happened.
That would make you very popular.
It will, and it's just a great, simple little phrase. 好吧. And that means yes, and it's a very friendly thing to say as well. Yeah, sure, I'm in agreement with
Yes.
that, and so on. Okay, let's listen to this 3 more times, and we'll come back and when we have a few little more remarks
Yeah.
to make on this.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Chinese Pod Trivia. Our first question is, how long will it take you to become an intermediate Chinese speaker using the Chinese Pod app? Is it A, the rest of your life? B, you should already be an intermediate speaker? C, 3 months? Or D, Chinese Pod has an app?
You should already be in.
Ooh, that is incorrect. The correct answer is C, 3 months. That's right. Head over to ChinesePod.com now to register for your access to over 4,000 lessons. Get the Chinese Pod app now on Google Play or the App Store.
Dialogue first time.
你想吃什么？
我想吃肉。
我不喜欢肉，我喜欢吃鱼。
好吧。
Second time.
你想吃什么？
我想吃肉。
我不喜欢肉，我喜欢吃鱼。
好吧。
Third time.
你想吃什么？
我想吃肉。
我不喜欢肉，我喜欢吃鱼。
好吧。
Now, you don't like meat a whole lot. You don't like
我
to
不喜欢吃肉。
吃肉.
However,
You do like
鱼。
鱼.
But I think what's also interesting is in China, unless you're with close friends or
Yes.
people who you know fairly well,
Yeah.
you wouldn't really express your honest opinion
Yes.
to disagree with them.
Exactly.
If they say, would you like some meat? Even if you don't like meat, you just go
You
with
say, okay, fine.
with the flow, yeah.
You certainly, so these are close friends, right? These are two pals.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a tip, a social tip there. If you are at a dinner and people are inviting you or something, and would you like to eat this? Don't say, 我不喜欢. Don't say that. I don't know. It's slightly narcissistic thing to say
Or
at
it's
the
just
table.
standing out.
It's just standing out and saying,
something.
it's a bit childish even. It would be sort of impetuous. Oh, I don't like this. No, that's not what you do. You go with the flow. Whatever people offer you, say, yeah, fine, great. You know, you don't have to actually have a whole lot of it. But it's a cultural tip, and I think those things are really, really important. So, yeah, don't try to stand out and look, you know, 我不喜欢. Just go, yeah, 好吧. And
True.
people will love you.
You will have a nice meal.
Indeed. Okay, so why don't you go and chow down on some of the things in ChinesePod.com? Because this is where the real learning will happen. You can listen here, hopefully get a lot from it, but you'll get a lot more from it by going there and exploring the language. I think learning is really about exploration and doing things and uncovering things and getting involved and getting into the the community and asking questions. Every time you do something, you learn. And a lot of people see traditional learning as the task. I mean, the real learning
a one-way
thing.
approach.
In that the learning tasks actually have no real value beyond the task itself. But the real value of language is a tool to communicate.
Yes.
Right? So go and do things with it. Figure it out. Uncover it. Figure out meanings. Figure out connections. Do stuff with it. And do it on ChinesePod.com, where you shall encounter ourselves from time to time.
And
Yes.
many other interesting and like-minded people.
Hopefully so. Okay, now we do have to go, miss.
Yes, but we'll be back tomorrow.
Indeed.
Now time to say 再见.
As usual, ChinesePod provides an extensive selection of learning materials for this lesson on its website, www.chinesepod.com. You can access this lesson directly with the lesson number
0935.
So just go to www.chinesepod.com/0935
0935.
and you will find a transcript, vocabulary, and much more. The link again, www.chinesepod.com/0935.